Welcome back. Well, it's been nearly 60 years since the Prince George's firefighter rescued 2 young children from a burning house in Hyattsville.
That's right, Patty, and today they were reunited. Byron Scott has our story.
This story was 58 years in the making. It began August 21st, 1959, when 2 small children were rescued from a house fire. Michael Hart was 3 years old. His sister Linda was 2.
And I remember coming down the ladder and screaming at the top of my lungs. So he knew I was alive.
I have very, very little recollections of it. I remember waking up in the hospital. I remember going back and seeing the house later.
And this is the man who rescued them. Stu Newman had been on the force for just a few months.
I do remember handing Linda out the window to the police officer who was on the ladder in the rear of the building, taking Michael out off the bed. It was very smoky up there.
This news clipping recounts the events of that day. An off-duty police officer saw smoke and went into action before firefighters arrived.
In fact, I think it was their mother that was yelling, "There's my 2 children are upstairs," or something. And so I went around looking in the other bedrooms, and I found him and picked him up out of bed, took him down the stairs.
Newman says he was just doing his job, but for the Harts, it's something they've talked about all their lives. They never knew the names of the people who rescued them until last month, when Michael was going through a recently discovered box filled with old pictures and the news clipping.
And of course, because it's been such a defining moment, I started to read it, and halfway down, lo and behold, there are names.
Hart set out to find Newman. Someone directed him to Department PIO Mark Brady, who tracked down their savior. This was the first time they had seen each other since that day.
I've always told firefighters as I've met them throughout my lifetime that I owe my life to a firefighter.
This is where that fire occurred back in 1959, 7615 25th Avenue in Hyattsville. Now, Michael and his sister were up on the 2nd floor when that fire broke out. It began on the 1st floor, they say, in a closet.
I got onto the stairwell and took my mask off, my air mask. Scott packed like this, hanging on the bulkhead over there, and put it on his face because he was out there not longer than I was.
These are photos of Mike and Linda taken at around the time of the fire. Here's a picture of Mike at the front of the house. She would go on to become a minister in Tacoma, Washington. He would, among other things, host Cajun and Zydeco dances.
I run into students all the time in my EMT classes.
And Newman would go on to save more lives, deliver babies. He still teaches EMT classes for the department. 6 decades is a long time to be out of touch, but on this day, their lives have come full circle. And I guess you stay in contact with him now?
We will now, yeah. I've got his email address, he's got mine, so we'll...